What if I told you that Ethiopia's greatest victory over colonialism was led by a fearless queen? A woman who built a city, commanded an army, and outsmarted an empire. This is the story of Empress Taytu Betul, the mastermind behind Ethiopia's legendary triumph at the Battle of Adwa and the founder of Addis Ababa. Stay with us as we uncover the life of the woman who shaped Ethiopia's destiny, defied European colonizers, and proved that a queen can be as powerful as a king. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to Tales of Ethiopia for more incredible stories of Ethiopian heroes. Let's dive in. Empress Taytu Betul, 1851 to 1918, the founder of Addis Ababa and the strategist behind victory. Empress Taytu Betul is one of the most influential and powerful women in Ethiopian history. As the wife of Emperor Menelik II, she played a critical role in politics, military strategy, and diplomacy. She was not just an empress by marriage, she was a queen by her own right, known for her intelligence, leadership, and courage. She is best remembered for founding Ethiopia's capital, Addis Ababa, her role in the Ethiopian victory at the Battle of Adwa, 1896, strengthening Ethiopia's independence against European colonization. Taytu Betul was born in 1851 into a noble family in Semien, northern Ethiopia. She came from a royal bloodline and was well educated, which was rare for women of her time. She was fluent in Amharic, Ge'ez, and Tigrinya, and she had extensive knowledge of governance, military strategy, and diplomacy. At a time when women were mostly expected to stay in the background, Taytu was different. She was bold, intelligent, and had a strong political mind. In 1883, she married Menelik II, who later became Emperor of Ethiopia. Unlike other queens who were just figureheads, Taytu actively participated in politics, diplomacy, and war strategies. Empress Taytu Betul played a crucial role in the foundation of Addis Ababa, the modern capital of Ethiopia. Her vision and strategic thinking transformed a small settlement into one of Africa's most important cities. Before Addis Ababa was founded, Ethiopia had no fixed capital. The Ethiopian emperors practiced a mobile capital system, where the royal, court and administration moved from place to place depending on climate, food supply, and security. The main settlement before Addis Ababa was Entoto, located in the mountains north of modern-day Addis Ababa. Emperor Menelik II established a camp there in the early 1880s, but it had several problems. Cold climate. The high altitude, 3,000 above sea level, made it harsh for living. Limited resources. Water and firewood were scarce, making it difficult for a growing population. Strategic concerns. Entoto was a good military base, but not ideal for long-term settlement. Empress Taytu Betul saw these challenges and suggested moving to a warmer, more fertile area in the Finfini Plains. Finfini, now Addis Ababa, was a lowland region located south of Entoto. The area had abundant water sources, including hot springs, fertile soil for agriculture, a warmer climate, making it more comfortable for the royal family and their administration. Empress Taytu was especially attracted to the hot springs in the area, believing they had healing properties. She frequently visited the natural hot springs, which were later developed into Filwoha, one of Addis Ababa's famous landmarks. She built the first royal residence near the hot springs, and soon the imperial court followed. As nobles, soldiers, and merchants moved in, the settlement quickly expanded into a city. Empress Taytu personally named the new settlement. The name Addis Ababa means new flower in Amharic. Some sources suggest that the area was filled with beautiful yellow flowers, which inspired the name. However, the deeper meaning of new flower symbolized a fresh beginning for Ethiopia under Menelik and Taytu's leadership. As the new capital, Addis Ababa grew rapidly. Land grants were given to nobles and soldiers to build homes. Markets were set up, attracting traders from different parts of Ethiopia. Roads and bridges were constructed to connect the city to other regions. Religious centers like churches and mosques were built. By 1889, When Emperor Menelik was officially crowned, Addis Ababa was established as the permanent capital of Ethiopia. Under Menelik and Taytu's leadership, Addis Ababa became a modern city. Schools and hospitals were built. Telegraph and postal systems were introduced. Ethiopian currency, the birr, was introduced to strengthen the economy. Diplomatic missions were established as Addis Ababa became a key political center. Today, Addis Ababa remains the political, economic, and cultural heart of Ethiopia. It is also home to the African Union, AU, making it a symbol of African unity. Without Taytu Betul's vision, Addis Ababa might not exist as we know it today. She transformed a small hot spring village into a thriving capital. Her decision secured Ethiopia's position as an independent and strong nation. Empress Taytu Betul was not just a queen. She was a strategic military leader, a fearless warrior, and a brilliant tactician who played a key role in Ethiopia's victory at the Battle of Adwa on March 1, 1896. This battle was one of the most significant anti-colonial victories in African history, as it defeated Italy's attempt to colonize Ethiopia. In the late 19th century, European powers were aggressively colonizing African territories. Italy signed the Treaty of Wuchale, 1889, with Emperor Menelik II, but there was a dispute over the treaty's meaning. The Amharic version stated that Ethiopia could choose to communicate with Italy for foreign relations. The Italian version wrongly claimed that Ethiopia was now an Italian protectorate. When Menelik II and Taytu discovered this deception, they immediately rejected Italy's claims. But Italy, confident in its modern military, prepared for war. Unlike most queens of the time, Taytu Betul actively participated in war strategies and battle preparations. Rallying Ethiopian nobles and warriors, she mobilized Ethiopian regional leaders, convincing them to unite against the Italians. Warrior spirit. She personally led an army of 5,000 soldiers, including elite troops from her native region, Semien and Wollo. Battle strategy. She advised her husband not to rely on European diplomacy, but to fight for Ethiopia's sovereignty. Psychological warfare. She used intelligence and diplomacy to weaken the Italian side before the battle even started. Taytu's charisma and courage inspired thousands of Ethiopians, including women, to join the battlefield. Location: the rugged mountains of Adwa, in northern Ethiopia. Ethiopian army strength: around 100,000 warriors. Italian army strength: around 17,000 troops, including Italian soldiers and Eritrean colonial fighters. Taytu's brilliant strategy. At Adwa, Taytu understood the importance of controlling water sources. She advised Menelik to cut off the Italians' water supply, forcing them into exhaustion. Use Ethiopia's knowledge of the terrain to launch surprise attacks. Her tactic worked. With no access to water and food, the Italian soldiers were weak and demoralized even before the battle started. Unlike many queens who stayed behind in palaces, Taytu fought alongside her troops. She commanded her own battalion, leading cavalry troops into battle. She personally led artillery units, firing cannons at the enemy. She inspired female warriors, Asmari and Fitorari women, to fight for their country. She gave powerful speeches, telling soldiers, "It is better to die with dignity than live in slavery." Under Menelik and Taytu's leadership, Ethiopian forces overpowered and defeated the Italians. Thousands of Italian troops were killed, captured, or forced to flee. The Battle of Adwa was a historic moment. Ethiopia became the only African nation to successfully resist European colonization. The Italians were forced to sign the Treaty of Addis Ababa, 1896, recognizing Ethiopia's full sovereignty. Empress Taytu was celebrated as a fearless leader, both in Ethiopia and across Africa. Her role in Ethiopian history: first Ethiopian empress to personally lead troops into battle, one of the few female military leaders in African history, a master strategist who helped secure Ethiopia's independence. Her impact beyond Ethiopia. Her victory at Adwa inspired anti-colonial movements across Africa. She proved that African women could be leaders, warriors, and defenders of their nations. Empress Taytu Betul was not just a warrior queen. She was also a brilliant political strategist who played a key role in Ethiopian governance. Inside the royal palace, she was known for her diplomatic intelligence, bold decision-making, and ability to navigate the complex power dynamics of the Ethiopian court. Her political influence extended beyond her husband, Emperor Menelik II, making her one of Ethiopia's most powerful empresses. Taytu Betul was not a typical empress who stayed in the background. She was a co-ruler with Menelik II, actively shaping political and military decisions. Many nobles and foreign diplomats feared and respected her influence in the palace. She acted as Menelik's closest advisor, ensuring that no decisions were made without her input. She was not afraid to challenge European diplomats, refusing to be deceived by foreign powers. She managed Ethiopia's internal affairs, dealing with nobles, rival factions, and governance matters. Some historians believe that she was the true architect of Ethiopian policies during Menelik's reign. Empress Taytu was highly skilled in diplomacy and political negotiations. She played a major role in Ethiopia's foreign relations, especially in dealing with European powers that sought to colonize or influence Ethiopia. How Taytu handled European powers. The Treaty of Wuchale, 1889. She was one of the first to expose Italy's deception and push for its rejection. The Battle of Adwa, 1896. She used diplomatic tactics to weaken the Italians before the war even started. Control over foreign advisors. Unlike many African rulers who trusted European advisors, Taytu was skeptical and limited their influence in Ethiopian affairs. She famously rejected European offers of protection, refusing to let Ethiopia become a colony. Taytu Betul was highly skilled at court politics. She knew that Ethiopian nobles often plotted against the throne, so she used a combination of bribery, strategic marriages, and political alliances to maintain control. How Taytu maintained power. She arranged key marriages between powerful families to strengthen the empire. She appointed loyal governors to key regions to prevent rebellion. She punished nobles who opposed Menelik's rule, ensuring loyalty in the palace. Many nobles feared her more than they feared Menelik II. She was known for her sharp tongue, quick thinking, and ability to manipulate political situations to Ethiopia's advantage. While Menelik focused on military expansion and diplomacy, Taytu focused on governing the empire. She managed the Ethiopian economy, controlling taxation and trade, strengthened Ethiopia's defense system, ensuring the empire remained independent, promoted Ethiopian culture, refusing to allow European influence to dominate. She also played a key role in expanding Ethiopia's territory, ensuring that regions such as Oromia, Sidama, and Gambela were integrated into the empire. By the early 1900s, Menelik II's health began to decline, and Taytu took full control of the empire. From 1906 to 1910, she was effectively the ruler of Ethiopia, making all major political decisions. She tried to secure her power, but many nobles feared her growing influence. In 1910, rival nobles forced her into retirement, fearing that she would seize complete power. She spent her final years in a monastery, maintaining her dignity and legacy. Taytu Betul was more than just a queen. She was a political mastermind who ensured Ethiopia remained independent, powerful, and resistant to European colonization. Her political achievements exposed and rejected Italy's colonial tricks, strengthened the Ethiopian monarchy through diplomacy and strategic alliances, ruled Ethiopia as de facto leader when Menelik II fell ill. Her impact on Ethiopia's political history. Without Taytu's political intelligence, Ethiopia might not have remained independent during the scramble for Africa. She proved that women could be powerful leaders, even in a male-dominated society. From the palace to the battlefield, Empress Taytu Betul proved that a queen's wisdom and courage could shape the destiny of a nation. But Ethiopia's history is filled with more fearless leaders, warriors, and legends whose stories remain untold. So, what do you think? about Empress Taytu Betul, greatest leader? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you like to watch more of Ethiopian history, don't miss out. Subscribe to Tales of Ethiopia and hit the bell icons